All right, welcome into Are You Cirrus, episode 14.
We made it past Lucky 13. Now we're on 14.
I am meteorologist Andrew Dockery, morning meteorologist here at WMBF News.
And I'm Jamie Arnold, chief meteorologist here at WMBF News. This is the only time Andrew and I are literally in the same room together unless there's a hurricane.
I've seen you more since Are You Cirrus' launch than ever before. And we're starting on a different, if you're watching, a different shot.
Yeah.
Because, sneak peek, we have someone to introduce you to here in a little bit.
Excited about that.
I'm really excited about that. I'm also excited because we have a big week coming up.
We do.
And we're going to just get straight to it because I want everyone to get this now rather than wait till the end of the episode.
Right. Yeah, we're not going to drag you along. So we have our big hurricane week coming up. In the past couple years, we've actually had some people ask about the Hurricane Expo.
Yep.
Taking a break from the Hurricane Expo this year, and we kind of wanted to think about, okay, how do we do something similar but also different, but to kind of, I really wanted a community feel like this year because the Grand Strand is huge.
Massive.
You know, it's massive area, and each part kind of has its own sort of hurricane history and its own hurricane preparedness sort of niches associated with it. So we're basically taking the week of June 12th through the 15th, 11th, 12th.
15th, I think.
Yeah.
Thursday's the 15th, so I think 16th.
So 12th through the 16th. So that is next week, Monday through Friday of next week. And we're basically breaking down each day of that week and really focusing on a different part of the Grand Strand, not only with our coverage, but we're going to be doing live broadcasts from each location. So I guess we can go ahead and talk about where we're going.
Well, I can't wait.
So Monday, North Strand.
Yeah.
It's all about the North Strand, a very hurricane susceptible area. You're going to be broadcasting live Monday morning. From Cherry Grove Pier.
From Cherry Grove Pier. I can't wait.
Which obviously took the huge damage from Hurricane Ian. We're actually going to be, they're allowing us on the pier.
Yeah.
Which is really cool.
It is cool.
So you're going to be out there from 5 to 7. I'm going to be out there from 4 until 7:30.
Yeah.
So we encourage you to come out. We're basically doing the whole newscasts.
Yeah.
From these locations. We're working on getting a couple of other guests out there who can kind of help us. It's a chance for you to kind of come out, see us, talk to us there, watch a live newscast. We'll answer some questions in between weather hits. We might put you on TV.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Tuesday, we're back in Myrtle Beach.
We are here in the home of the Hub.
Yeah, the home of the Hub. We're going to be at one of my favorite places. Bums
on the beach.
Bums on the beach.
If you haven't been.
Yeah, if you haven't been. So again, morning newscast going to be broadcast live there. Afternoon newscast, 4 to 7:30. I'll be out there. We're even having Eric Weisfeld, Rachel Bogle coming out. Yeah. And again, it's going to be all about Myrtle Beach, the preparedness, the issues focused on Myrtle Beach from a hurricane. Again, come out, have a burger, have a
drink.
Have a beer with us on a Tuesday
Can't
afternoon
wait.
in Myrtle Beach.
Let's talk some weather.
We'll talk some weather. That's going to be really fun. Wednesday, we keep going down the Strand. We are going to be on the Marsh Walk.
Yeah, South Strand.
Yeah, South Strand. Going to be excited for that. Thursday, we head inland to Conway. We're going to be at Bonfire. We'll be doing the whole newscast morning and evening from Bonfire. And then Thursday evening, after all of that, is what we're really excited about.
Live podcast.
A live podcast.
Episode 15 will be live. Thursday, we will be out there and we will do a live podcast right after our news.
Yes.
We're talking about the official start time, but if you're out there, you'll be able to get in, do the podcast. We'll have a full announcement. But this is where our Are You Cirrus listeners get to show up, whether that's 4 or whether that's 50 or 100.
It doesn't matter.
Everyone is welcome.
It doesn't matter. And we're just going to kind of keep that really casual and simple. We'll probably talk to you. We'll put you, hopefully we'll see your face. And I know we've got a couple of diehards that join us. I know Rose is already planning on being there. We love Rose. Knowing Rose, she's probably bringing snacks.
Yeah.
Rose brings snacks. And I'm trying to remember some of the other names from the premieres that we do, but there's a couple of diehards. So if you're a diehard, if you're a newbie, come on out and see us there.
And we
Bonfire next Thursday.
We wanted to give as much notice as possible, but to make this whole week happen.
Yeah.
Holy
But
smokes.
a lot of logistics and moving parts and all of that.
And we're going to be out there. I'm going to be out there every evening. We're going to be working a lot of hours.
Yeah, it's going to be a long week, but a fun week.
So if you want to meet the entire team, we'll be out there Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Of course, Thursday's the big one with the live podcast.
Yep.
And then Hurricane Special on Friday.
On Friday, our WMBF First Alert Hurricane Special, that will be at 7 o'clock. We put a lot of good work into that as well. And, we always said with the Hurricane Expo, and I think it goes this year too, like we don't have to be scared about hurricane season or the risk of another hurricane, because there's going to be another hurricane. There's going to be another big hurricane. While it's quiet, while the weather's beautiful, let's have some fun with it, but also try to make it a little, informative and educational. So this is a little bit more, I want to think of it as personal than the Hurricane Expo, because we're kind of crazy. We're still going to be crazy out there doing a live newscast and having people come up, but that's okay too. It's a little more one-on-one. If you have a question specific to you, come on out, hang out with us. Watch and see how a live broadcast is done in the field.
It's like a hometown hurricane tour, which I love.
Which is kind of what we've been calling it here internally. Yeah, the hometown hurricane tour.
And we're coming to a place near you, and we encourage maybe you come out to one Monday through Wednesday, and then come up and get some good food on Thursday too, and enjoy the podcast. Maybe not, whatever you want to do.
Yeah, we're not buying dinner, but we definitely want to hang out with you.
Maybe you could buy our dinner. Just kidding.
You're not.
I'm not kidding at all. Maybe a drink or two as well. Do want to say real quick, also on June 1st, Colorado State updated the forecast.
They did.
Just wanted to let you know that most of that is right at average. That does count one early storm that was in January with that number now at 14 for named storms. But still,
a little bit of a bump up from their April outlook, nudged up from slightly below normal to basically normal.
Yeah.
And again, the reasoning hasn't changed. I actually took the time this morning to read through that whole outlook. And it's the same thing that we talked about when we had that really heavy episode of Are You Cirrus?
Yeah. The cone.
It's still El Nino versus really warm Atlantic waters. It's still those El Ninos coming on, and it looks like it's coming on strong. But water temperatures in the Atlantic, not only warm, but a lot of parts, especially the eastern Atlantic, near record warmth.
Yeah.
So we've got these two competing factors. And what I found really interesting was the European Center for Meteorological Forecasting, the same company that's responsible for the famous Euro model, is forecasting a hyperactive season. Yeah, hyperactive hurricane season. So
buckle up.
Yeah, so there's a lot of competing factors. Obviously, they're kind of putting more of their focus on the warm water temperature.
Yeah.
So, but it was also really important to note in the Colorado State outlook that they stated this forecast has a lot less confidence than usual, because it honestly could really go either way over these next couple months.
Yeah, and we get two more outlooks from Colorado State. I wrote them down for the dates, July 6th and August 3rd. After August 3rd, my favorite part about it, Colorado State, is they will do 2-week forecast for the peak of hurricane season. If you're a weather nerd, that's the place you want to go. Every time it's updated, they will really fine-tune where some of those development zones will be. So that's really good if you're looking to get into hurricanes.
There's something I want to. I think we need to address, and I probably should have told you about this before we started the podcast. So remember last week we had Tropical Depression 2. That became Tropical Storm Arlene. So the second tropical depression of the season became the first named storm. There were some questions about that. You brought it up. There was a subtropical storm that kind of spun up in the North Atlantic in January. National Hurricane Center went back, looked at that, and said that was probably not just a storm. It was a subtropical storm in the North Atlantic. So they didn't give it a name, but they did classify it as a tropical depression, sort of after the fact. So that's how we ended up with Tropical Depression 2 that became Tropical Storm Arlene. Here's something else. Let's talk about Memorial Day weekend. Let's talk about Memorial Day weekend, that miserably cold, wet, windy weekend. If it looks like a duck, if it talks like a duck, if it walks like a duck, it's probably a duck.
Probably quacks like a duck.
That was an impressive storm system.
Yeah.
It was over water temperatures about 78 to 80 degrees. I know it didn't start purely tropical, but by the time it almost had that eye-like feature offshore, it was starting to get warm core a little bit. I'm curious to see if that, in reanalysis, maybe at the end of the season, is not bumped up to a tropical depression or tropical storm.
I agree. 100%.
Yeah.
And I've seen people go back and forth. I'm interested as to when it would have been because you see the frontal boundaries. If you go back and look at that, it looked really impressive at that core, especially toward the end. But that was also when some of the rain was at its weakest too.
Yeah.
So, and that was where I think it was turning the tide of becoming tropical. I don't know. We'll see.
So we'll be really curious.
So for people that don't know, they do the post-tropical analysis, and sometimes we'll get a tropical depression or something after the fact, especially up in the North Atlantic. It happens
And
all
honestly,
the time.
and we kind of said this internally, it would have been really much easier on us to just say, yeah, that's a tropical depression or tropical storm.
Yeah.
Would have been just communicating because it felt like it all day Saturday.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, granted, it was cold.
All the rain.
But it was windy. It was rainy. Would have been a lot easier.
Yeah.
That's my rant.
Yeah, I get it.
I'm done.
A rant over.
Yep.
All right, we're going to do a couple Shooting the Breeze, and then we're going to introduce who we want to introduce. Shooting the Breeze, if you missed it, these are your viewer questions that come in because we got a lot of questions for our guests, too. I have a whole list full, but we're going to pick a couple of these out. How many you want to do?
I don't know. We'll see.
This is what the entire live podcast will probably be.
Yeah.
Let's do this one. I literally just put this one in today, of course.
I think I know which one this one is.
I am a longtime visitor to the Myrtle Beach area and like to watch your news on the WMBF channel on Roku. Recently, I scrolled way down. You need to be moved up. Thank you, first off. I appreciate that. And the channel where I found your wonderful podcast and binged. Oh, okay.
Nice.
However, it only shows 11 episodes. Oh, okay. We need to fix that. So you will be adding more to Roku, ? Also, when you guys get away for vacation, here's the question. Do you do your own forecasting or do you trust the local weather team? This is from Eland is how I would say that, I think, via YouTube. Ehland. It sounds like Eland. I'll let you answer that first.
We're definitely going to talk to whoever we need to talk to about getting those up on Roku. I imagine there's probably just a little bit of a delay.
A button or so. Or
yeah, probably is. Somebody just kind of forgot Roku. So we'll check into that. I love to forecast when I'm going on vacation. For that location.
Yeah.
Especially about a week out. I start like
geeking
out over the forecast because I like to vacation in places where there's fun weather. We've talked about my winter vacations. I obsess over the forecast about a week out to see how much snow I'm going to get, especially this past winter when we were in Wyoming and Idaho and Montana and had a really big winter storm while I was there, and it was obsessed over the forecast. That said, I've learned that I know nothing about forecasting in the West, in the mountains of the West, in the Rockies, because that is a whole different ball game where the weather can change within a mile. Totally different depending on elevation and everything. But yeah, I love to do my own forecasting.
I'm the same way, to the point to where I drive myself nuts.
Yeah.
Like, even if I'm like vacationing and I make plans and I'm like, oh, it looks like 30%, and then 40. Should we cancel the plans for today? So yes, I totally do that, to the point to where we honeymooned in Denver, me and Emily, when we got married. Oh my goodness, talk about tough. And then you're like, what are they talking about? Snow? How are they getting snow on the ground? So I totally get that to a T. I do watch local weather stations when I'm on and I have access to it.
Oh, absolutely.
Just to see what people are doing.
Yeah, love to watch other people.
But I still forecast.
Yeah.
All right.
Maybe not as hardcore as I do here.
100%.
But I'll definitely check in and pop in and kind of look and see what's going on. Yeah,
Great
for sure.
question, Ann.
No doubt about it.
Also, thank you for binging.
Yes, love the binging.
Are you Cirrus?
All right, so this one's mine?
Yes. Also, someone asked in one of the premieres what this says. It says Iota Best Meteorologist. So just want to make sure we clear the air on that.
Oh, I love this. With the weather being a common talking point between people, do you get excited when someone asks you about weather, even if they don't know you are a meteorologist?
Yes.
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 One thing I love to do, because everybody talks about the weather. This is summer.
Summer.
Summer's one.
Summer in the premiere.
Yes, summer.
I hope you're in Conway.
We better see you at Bonfire. Summer is a diehard, no doubt about it. One of my favorite things is to like be out at dinner and hear maybe a couple beside me or next to me. They start talking about weather, and especially if it's kind of a heated, or it'll be something about, it's going to rain this weekend. It's not going to rain. Well, they said, it's going to be a washout. Look, it's beautiful and sunny. So I'll kind of interject myself
here I am.
in the conversation and then I'll kind of introduce myself. That's always a fun thing to do.
It is fun.
Yeah.
I enjoy it except when it's a specific event and they want to know the forecast for like their block of Carolina Forest.
Yeah.
We all do it. I get it.
Yeah.
But I can't get any more specific than what you have available to you. Yeah. I could give you a time. I could give you a frame. But I get it. You have Jimmy's birthday party or whatever happening.
Yeah.
This is as best as we get.
Yeah.
So maybe have a backup plan. But I still get excited about it.
Still get excited. Bottom line, if you want to get me talking, ask me about weather. Because I'll just go and go and go.
And you might regret it, too. Have you ever had anyone ask and then you could tell they immediately regret it bringing something up?
Oh, yeah. I've bored them to tears.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Me too. All right. Good question there, Summer. Also, I'm sure Summer will be in the premiere for this one. She always is. This is from Anthony, our morning producer.
Oh, boy.
Remember he said he listens to everything. Why does it always smell weird when it rains? Anthony. So I had to look this up.
Then you answer it.
So the smell that you get, and I had to look it up on multiple times, most of the smell that you get is obviously coming from the ground.
Yeah.
So typically when it rains and it rains hard enough, you're actually getting the smell from what is ever below you. That's why sometimes in the summertime, if it's a hot blacktop or something, kind of smells like asphalt.
Yeah.
You get that same way with the dirt or the soil.
Yeah.
If you're out in your garden and it's raining and it's like, smells like leaves.
Yeah.
It's from that. Very rarely will you get it to come down from the top.
Right. Okay.
Most of the smell comes from when the rain comes through and releases some of the particles in whatever it's falling on, and you smell it. When I was typing that, I was like, I don't know if I know the answer.
All right, well,
and there's a fancy word for it, but I don't know how to pronounce it, and I didn't put it on my sheet.
That's all right.
So I honestly forgot all about that question.
I mean, as far as weather questions go, Anthony, that one was all right.
Do better.
I mean,
come on, Anthony. But yeah, that's why it always smells weird. All right.
My turn again. All right, into the magic box we go.
We'll do two more. Two's good.
Keep getting these big ones. What do you guys like to do when you're not forecasting the weather? Joseph, via Twitter.
Sleep.
Yeah.
Sleep when I can. That's good. Eat.
Yep.
Drink.
Yep.
I don't know. I really enjoy outside, but to a T. Like coming up is about to be the worst time of the year.
It is.
So I'm not going to be able to get outside unless it's the beach or the pool. And then other than that, spending time with Brooks and Emily. That's
yeah. Your hands are full.
Yeah, they're very full.
You're a new daddy, so
like,
yeah.
Wherever he goes, I go.
Right.
But yeah, what about you?
Y'all know me. If I occasionally venture away from home, but I love to be home. I'm always. Obviously, we've talked about this before. I'm in my garden. I'm like you. I want to be outside.
Yeah.
Unless it's 100 degrees.
Sweltering.
Getting into these next couple months. But yeah, I'm outside. I'm always working on something in the house. There's some sort of project or traveling. Just trying to relax a little bit.
Yeah, I totally understand that.
Just relax.
Joseph, thank you for your question. Let's do one more. Only because I don't want to run out in case we don't have any questions. That we have about 4 in here. So if you want your question in, now's a good time to ask one. Last but not least, Joey. I guess this is probably one of those myth questions. Joey from Georgetown via YouTube. Can lightning hit a car?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I think there's a myth to that because you always hear if you're in the car, you can't get struck because of the rubber on the tires.
Yep.
Doesn't mean lightning can't hit it.
Right. The other myth is that a car is safe because of the rubber in the tires. Not the case at all. Not the case at all. But yes, lightning does hit cars. For all you YouTubers, just look it up on YouTube, and there's some really amazing video of lightning hitting cars while they're moving. Yes, it does. It does hit a car. It can even hit a moving car, which that dovetails into a car is safe from lightning because of the rubber tires. Absolutely not. If you've ever seen a car that's been hit by lightning or that gets hit by lightning, usually the tires are blown out or melted. It's actually the metal cage of the car that takes that electrical charge and disperses it. And it almost makes a more or less a cage of electricity kind of surrounds you. So if you're in the car, all that electricity is flowing around you, then it kind of hits the tires, blows the tires out. But it's not the tires. It's not the rubber. It's the actual metal of the car that is almost like a protective bubble for you.
I knew it was the metal, but I didn't know it was like the electrical cage. So I learned something today as well. Who asked that? Joey from Georgetown, which also brings up our previous Shooting the Breeze. Lightning can also strike twice.
Yeah.
So
and
that was
it will also really... A car is a lot of times totaled after a lightning strike because every electronic is pretty much fried in a car.
As expected to.
Yeah, I've never had a direct hit. I was doing some storm chasing once, and I was sitting at a stoplight, and lightning hit at the telephone pole or power pole literally just a few feet from my car. Sparks rained down, showered the car, but all of the electronics in the car shut down. Then the entire car itself just shut down, and it took about 10 minutes before I could get it started. I don't know if it was like a battery issue or whatever, but yeah, that's a lot of electricity.
Well, Shooting the Breeze will continue, and we need your questions in order to do so. Also want to tell you, got the numbers for Are You Serious? Have you looked?
I haven't.
We are just shy of 1,000 downloads.
That's amazing.
On Apple and Spotify. So close. And if you're listening to Apple and Spotify, make sure you rate it. We've gotten some new ratings on Apple. We're right now an average of 5 stars, which I don't know if that's, close friends and relatives.
Is that like out of 5 or out of 20?
Out of 5.
Okay, good.
5. Spotify still needs some reviews. YouTube is big for us, which we love. We get likes on that all the time. Yeah. And the premiere, 3,550 views.
I love that.
On YouTube.
I love that.
And some of these interview style type episodes are usually the big ones. People want to know more about somebody. And we have somebody here that may push us over the edge on 4,000 views and the downloads.
Let's do it.
I'm going to let you introduce her.
So,
and how this all came to be.
So this is
wild.
This is a really kind of a cool story. Let's go ahead and reveal the big 3 shot. We have a summer intern, Jenna.
Hello.
Hi, Jenna.
Hi.
Jenna is our summer intern, and
she's been sitting here watching us.
Yeah, she's been sitting here the whole time. This is your first full week here.
Yeah, I started a week ago today.
Yeah, a week ago today, because a week ago today you were sitting there watching the podcast. Now you're on the podcast. So, welcome to the podcast. Welcome to WMBF News. You're going to be seeing more of Jenna because summer interns aren't just here pouring us coffee. It's a whole new ballgame. We're trying to get this girl on TV.
Yeah, that's the goal.
We're gonna see her on television before the summer is over with. Really funny story about how Jenna ended up here. I was doing live shots.
I still can't believe
this.
At Merle's Inlet for...
It was like February. It was like
It was Mardi Gras.
Yeah,
Mardi Gras.
Whatever, yeah.
Mardi Gras. So I'm out there having a good time. Maybe you've had a hurricane. I was wearing a couple beads. Having a good time. And this wonderfully sweet lady came up to me and she said, "Oh my gosh, my niece is in..."
Daughter. It was my mom.
It was your mom. It was your mom. Yes. "My daughter is in school for meteorology." I was like, "Oh, that's so cool." I didn't know, like what, high school? Is she 7? I don't know, because your mom looks super young. So we talked a little bit more about it, and we talked a little bit more, and I was like, "Yeah, tell her to reach out to me or whatever." Then your mom
FaceTimes me,
FaceTimed Jenna.
Yeah.
And so Jenna and I talked
through
FaceTime and never met, never heard of this girl, and FaceTimed, and this was in between me doing hits for Mardi Gras on the Marsh Walk.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yeah, reach out to me, email me, we'll get something set up." She did it like an hour later.
Yeah.
Filled out the paperwork.
Yeah.
Bam.
And she's here.
Intern. Yes.
Yeah. Jamie told me this story, and I was like, "There's no way."
Yeah. So, lesson of that story: you never know who you're going to meet and where you're going to meet them, and how it's going to change the course of things.
And
I will changed my whole summer for sure.
Right. Now you're spending summer in Myrtle Beach,
and I'm not complaining.
Right.
For people that may not know, obviously they don't know, but tell us a little bit about yourself. Where is home? And where are you going to school right now?
I live in a small town called Florida, New York.
Florida, New York.
And then I go to school at Western Connecticut in Danbury.
Right.
Western
Yeah.
Connecticut meteorologist student. You're a
Junior, going
there,
into senior year this fall.
and she wants to be a broadcast meteorologist. I remember when you were like, "Hey, I met our new intern on FaceTime," and I remember talking to Jenna, and I was like, "Oh, she's really passionate about weather.
Yeah.
Like she really wants to do this." Which, if you're passionate about weather, I'm all in on you.
And we've talked about that before. That's my thing.
Mm-hmm.
You got to have the passion about it. So you're in.
I'm in.
She's in, and you're here. You have family. More family moved
Right.
down for her
Yeah,
too.
my aunt has lived here for like years, and my grandparents were they were staying from January to March. They always go right after
Right.
Christmas. So my parents went to go visit in the middle of February
Yeah.
because they had a February break for school. And yeah, my grandma and grandpa ended up buying a house a couple months later.
Love
And
it.
now they're here.
And you're living with them.
I'm
while you're
living-
here
yeah.
for the summer.
Yep.
So that's perfect. We're
Yeah.
paying you
Yeah.
to live at Myrtle Beach
Yeah.
and to do weather.
Best summer
That's
ever.
not the internship I remember
Paying
when I was this age. Yeah.
What was your internship like?
I wasn't getting paid. It was good. I had a couple of really great internships that totally sort of changed
Yeah.
the course of my career for sure. I did 3 internships. But yeah, I wasn't getting paid.
I certainly wasn't going to be put on air either.
No, definitely wasn't going to be put on air. No.
My internships were more like just kind of shadow and watch and,
Yeah.
take notes,
Yeah,
do whatever you did.
that's kind of what I did. Just kind of hang out in the background.
And then toward the end, like I told you about the National Weather Service, I actually got to do an area forecast
Yeah.
discussion and all that. But yeah, like Jenna's going to be doing it.
She's going to be doing stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
we started right next week. She's updating our web stories and articles and working on your on-camera skills. We've been talking about that and kind of polishing and fine-tuning. And yeah.
So you're at Western Connecticut. When you're not in school, what's some things Jenna's doing?
Playing volleyball. I play volleyball for Western Connecticut.
I love how she just drops that in. I'm a college athlete.
College athlete. Spending time with my friends and family and just, hanging out. I like just vibing, chilling.
Vibing and chilling.
Yeah.
That's how we roll.
That's how we roll
Yeah.
in Myrtle Beach. For you, when it comes to, your growth is learning to become a meteorologist, what's been some struggles and challenges for you?
Speaking way too fast.
It happens.
Yeah, way too fast.
Very common for anybody starting out in the broadcast business. And you and I actually sat down last week and kind of talked about, we watched your first sort of demo reel of doing weather that you had done here. And the gut instinct, because you're always so incredibly nervous when you're just starting out, the gut instinct is to take one big breath
and just
then
let it all
talk
out.
for 2.5, 3
I
minutes.
was so bad about it.
And it just starts rolling out fast.
Yeah.
That happens to all of us.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember it being a struggle for going too fast. I also remember being incredibly nervous. My first time ever doing a thing, they gave us like a tornado warning bulletin, and you could just
Yeah. Oh yeah.
you could hear
Yeah.
the paper over me.
Yeah.
That's how nervous I was. But I feel like already you could speak for yourself.
Yeah.
She's already more comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the big thing we've been working on is like, and it's so cliche, I know, but talk to the camera like you're talking to like your best friend or your
Yeah.
mom
Yeah.
or your grandma.
The thing that most impressed me about your reel, and I told you this last week when we were going over it, there was not one single in the whole thing.
And I say like 60 on the podcast.
Not a single
Yeah.
which is amazing starting out.
Thank you.
So you've got all the workings of a future broadcast meteorologist. And that's why you're here.
I have to ask, you're from Connecticut. Do you miss the snow?
No, I'm not at all.
And
I
how-
don't like the cold.
And how are we with heat?
So far I've been enjoying it.
Well, because so far it hasn't been hot.
Well, yeah.
Oh, man.
We'll talk to you in August.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Food in Myrtle Beach. You are at one of the pristine food places. I might be biased, but have you tried any good restaurants so far?
Where did I go the other day? Bums was good.
Yeah, we took
Yeah,
you to
we took
Bums.
you to Bums. They
took me
last
to
week.
Bums.
Yeah,
That
we
was
love Bums.
really
Not to
good.
push to the hurricane again,
Right.
but we'll be at Bums.
Yeah.
We went to Wahoo's in the inlet,
Good.
and I
Great
had like
sushi there too.
which I didn't get sushi. I got like a shrimp salad, and it was one of the best shrimp salads I've ever had.
Nice.
And then I'm going to Claw House with some family friends today.
Ooh,
so
Claw
he was
House is
showing me the
another good
menu,
one.
and
Yeah,
I'm
right.
excited for that.
Yeah,
Love
Claw House is
Claw
great.
House. The
Yeah.
raw bar is like clutch.
Yeah.
We'll have to take you to some of this staple. This man. You'll pull up to some of the places Jamie takes you or tells you, and then you're like, where the heck am I?
A little off the beaten path.
But some of the best food. We're going to introduce a new segment with Jenna.
Okay. This is I had no idea this was coming.
Surprise.
Oh gosh.
We're going to title this or That.
Okay.
He's nervous.
Is this hard? Like, am I gonna have to think a lot?
No.
Yeah.
But it's to see.
I just got up.
Jamie's cranky. It's just to see if we're on the same wavelength or not. So I'm
Okay.
going to say two things, and you tell me which one, this or that.
Are we
Okay.
like all
First
saying
one.
them at the same time? Like, how are we going about this?
Help us out here, Andrew. You can't just throw something out like this is what we're doing.
That's very complicated.
Like, does Jamie go, then you go, then I go?
We'll do that. I think
Okay.
that's
Okay.
going to be easier.
Yeah.
This or that. Beaches or mountains?
Yes. This and that. Depending
Which
on the time.
one?
I
You
can't.
gotta
I can't,
choose.
I can't.
Beaches.
I won't. I won't choose. Depends on the time of the year. Winter, mountains.
I
Summer,
love
beaches.
both of them. Okay. Jenna?
Coming from a mountainous area, we have some mountains. I would definitely say beaches.
Okay. Mornings or evenings?
Mornings.
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 Oh, three.
Yeah.
There we go. Dogs or cats?
Dogs.
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 Sorry, cat people.
Yeah. Sorry.
Sorry
for the
to my
people,
two cats
right?
at home.
Go
Your
find
cats
another,
are like,
go find another podcast. No. Tacos or pizza?
tacos.
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 Yeah.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Coffee. You had to think about
Coffee.
A little bit.
I got nervous.
that? Movie or book?
I want to say book, but movie.
Movie.
It depends. Like, I would say book, actually. Like, I like just sitting down and reading. But if it's like Marvel movies, like I would rather choose a Marvel movie over a book.
See, I'd fall asleep in both. a book or a Marvel.
What's a good movie for you?
Give me a documentary or my British gardening show. that's as exciting.
You
as
still
I
haven't
get.
finished that?
No, it's week by week. It's keeping
Oh,
up
it's
with
still
time. Yeah.
going.
Oh yeah, it's still going. Yeah,
So there's like a new episode that airs
every
each week. Oh, that's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah,
You got a new fan?
Gardener's World on, on BBC.
We'll send you the link. Wine or margaritas?
Margaritas.
Margaritas.
I just don't know, if I'm being honest.
No.
Wine gives me heartburn
Makes me sleepy.
Yeah.
and a headache.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Breakfast or dinner?
Dinner. Supper. Because depending on where you're from.
Time out. That's a good question. Where I come from, supper is only on Sundays. Is that a thing for you?
Aren't they the same thing?
But they,
Nope,
no,
not down
Sorry,
here.
my
not,
bad.
not in Kentucky. Supper was always on Sundays, and it was a little bit earlier. We had
I
dinner
grew
through
up-
the week and then supper on Sundays.
See, I grew up. Sunday dinner was lunch.
What time was your
I mean,
Sunday?
it happened like
Wait, are they
our
different
supper
times?
was like 2 p.m.
No, this was right after church. We were eating right after
Well,
church.
we tried to do
So
after
so
church,
that
but
was
we
Sunday
cooked
dinner.
too many.
Yeah, that was Sunday dinner.
Dang. Maybe I have it backward. No, I think it was supper.
Yeah.
Any of that, or did you just normal dinner?
I just call it a normal dinner.
Okay. I'll
But
pick.
but the evening meal growing up was always supper, not dinner. It was supper.
Oh, maybe I got that.
If
Back.
you
I
had
think
dinner, you were a little bougie.
When I ate with
we
my
had supper.
when I ate with my grandparents, I think it was supper. I don't know. I don't really remember, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to think about that. Also, growing up in the South, did you drink milk with your dinner?
A lot of times with milk, but usually sweet tea.
Okay.
You mean dinner?
Dinner
Dinner,
or supper?
Dinner, supper, which
I'm
one?
so confused.
Either or.
Now Sunday dinner after church was always tea. But
Well,
it's-
that makes sense. That's how
at
we
supper
were.
it was.
I think I'm
milk.
backwards. I think I'm on your
Yeah.
train. I think
Yeah.
I got it mixed up.
Yeah, but
I'm
supper
not
was
on your
always
train.
there was milk at supper, especially during the summer because
So
summer
like
suppers.
with any supper?
Yes, and it was best with like Italian food.
No,
Yes,
I just like
yes. Anyone who
No.
agrees, let me know.
no.
You
Supper in the summer, especially
with milk.
because I grew up pretty country, was honestly like a glass of milk,
Yeah.
You'd have a plate of sliced tomatoes on the table.
Tomatoes and milk?
Yeah, just a plate of tomatoes in the
I
summer.
will get down with that.
Yeah, a plate of tomatoes,
Yeah, I
probably
won't
some
get down
pinto
with that.
beans of some sort with some chow chow on top, some cornbread.
It's so different
may
growing
have a-
up not in the South. Oh my goodness.
You may have, maybe a pork chop. Some
that
fresh
was Sundays
vegetables.
for us.
Oh, that was Sunday. Oh no, that was just like a Tuesday. Sunday was either steak,
Sunday was the
like
big meal.
a roast.
Roast, yeah. We never
Yeah.
had steak
Yeah,
on
it was
Sundays.
a T-bone. It was an awful T-bone.
We always went over to Grandma's on
My
Sunday,
grandparents
too.
just couldn't cook a steak to save their lives.
I feel like we're over here on this cloud
Yeah,
and
right.
shit is
She's
like,
like,
what?
Confused.
Anyway, we got off topic on that. We'll
yeah.
have to have a food episodes.
I love
like
that. Dinner for me.
I would say I could eat breakfast foods for every meal. Like
Yeah.
dinner time, like I'd rather just eat like pancakes and eggs or something.
I love breakfast. I love breakfast food.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't eat a big breakfast because if I eat a big breakfast, I'm going back to bed.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it makes me so sleepy.
Yeah. And then let's do 2 more. Fruits or vegetables?
Vegetables.
Green vegetables or fruit.
Green vegetables.
Yeah, I don't really like. I don't know. I just only like green vegetables.
So like not a carrot,
No.
not a radish,
No.
but a broccoli.
Yeah.
Hopefully they can still hear you with your mic. They
Yeah,
just tried to
apparently they're
unplug.
plugging in things. The whole podcast is ruined and all these gems that have come out of me today.
Oh, Lord.
Is there one more?
Yeah. Text or call?
Text.
Call.
Text.
What?
I'd much rather sit on the phone with someone than text them. Like
Okay.
my phone list is crazy long because I just would like I don't text my mom. I only call my mom, even if it's just like a hi, bye. Like
I don't want to call unless you're missing a body part or on the way in the ground.
No.
Otherwise, just send me a text. Just send me a text.
Oh, my goodness. Hopefully, Sarah, if Jamie's mic is fixed, just let me know. They already gave us our, 6-minute warning.
Okay.
Jen, anything you want to add?
no.
Okay.
I feel like this is such a wholesome podcast. This was a good wholesome episode.
Also, I had my first I'm that old moment today with Jenna.
Yeah.
We were looking back at some of my reels 7 years ago or something, and I can't even remember what
It
she
was
said.
2016, and you asked me, you're like, how old were you in 2016? And the first, I don't know why, but I said 6th grade, which is not true. I was a freshman in high school.
But it made me feel really old.
Yeah.
Really old.
Imagine how I feel.
I'm
Hey,
only-
we're good now on your mic.
At the end with 5 minutes left. Welcome to Are You Cirrus?
Oh, you gotta love technology. But yeah, we're excited to have Jenna. She's gonna be around. She'll also be out there for Hurricane Week next week.
Yeah. So come out and say hi to Jenna at Hurricane Week.
Which, if you missed it, Hurricane Week will be Monday through Friday next week. We'll be live Monday through Thursday. Those locations, we'll put them below the video. And I'm excited to do it. We got to get you to the beach more often.
I was at the beach yesterday. I went after work, and I fell asleep just laying there. It was so peaceful.
I love a beach nap.
Yeah.
All right.
Love a beach nap.
And for more information about Jenna, do you have a Facebook or anything yet?
No, I
Not
think we
yet?
should maybe go about creating.
probably need to make
Probably,
one
yeah.
for
We're gonna
probably
need your guys' help for that.
Probably need to get you on that social media thing.
Yeah.
Or at least at Twitter.
Yeah, I don't have that either. Yeah.
Have you ever done Twitter?
Like I have had it, but I don't use it for the longest time.
Okay. We'll get you back on.
One question that we did get last week is the garden complete?
It's not complete. It's never complete, but it's at a stopping. It's at a stopping point.
the answer.
It's at a maintaining point. Just getting ready to harvest some beans. Got a lot of cucumbers coming out.
I've never grown beans.
I hadn't either. This is my first time growing beans, and I got a mess of beans. She has no idea what that means, but from around here, I got a mess.
I already know.
Mess of beans.
Did you plant too many?
No, the plants are just doing so good.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
It's all about
a
the
mess.
soil.
That means a whole bunch in the South.
That's kind of what I had a feeling.
Yeah.
Big old mess of beans.
Well, next episode we will be live
Yeah,
from Conway. We have no idea what it's going to look like yet.
we don't really know exactly how it's going to unfold.
We're going to go do that today.
We're going to be there. There's going to be mics there. There's going to be some food there.
And if you can't make it, it will be on YouTube, but we will continue to figure that out. But
And then the most important thing we have to finish with is after next week's podcast, which will be episode 15, we have decided and made an executive decision that we are going to change the camera angles and the set
Do like a season 2. Is like
And that's gonna be
is
season
episode
2.
15
Season
the
2.
ending?
Yeah.
That's season 1.
That's season 1. Season 2 will start, and we will have brand new camera angles because I can't do this anymore. I cannot do that view anymore. I can't.
I agree with you. Trust me. I get it.
Says the guy sitting at the head of the table looking like you weigh 120 pounds.
Well, until I get to the side of the table, and I'm like, whoa, buddy. Yeah. We'll figure something out. I think maybe it's like a 2 chairs look with like a little table in the middle that we have our, I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Anyways, Jenna, welcome to the team.
Welcome to
Thank
the
you.
team. Welcome to the podcast. Thanks
We're glad
for
to have you.
popping in.
Happy to be
I
here.
think we'll need to bring you on at the end of your internship.
Yeah.
And do like a wrap.
A
Yeah.
recap.
Yeah.
What you've learned, some advice you would give to people maybe with the internship, and what's next for Jenna?
Yeah.
You'll be
Like it.
seeing more of her
Sounds
soon.
Yeah.
That does it for us. Are You Serious? Episode 14. Reminder 15 will be live. All right. That's been Are You Serious? A weather conversation between you and us. Y'all have a good one.